Hi, welcome to the channel. Today's video we're going to take a look at the Outdoor Research Bug Bivy. Here is the pack size of the Outdoor Research Bug Bivy. It is pretty small. You can squeeze it down much further as well, so it's quite a generous sort of stuff, so actually you don't have any problems getting it back in. Obviously the length is dictated by the single pole that you hoop at the front of the bivy to give it structure. So obviously what you can do is you can put that pole in your backpack separately, and then you can really compress the rest of the material because it will pack down a lot smaller than this. But as it is, you could just quite happily squeeze that up, stuff it down the side pocket of your bag anyway, so you don't necessarily need to take the pole out and stash it separately. As you can see, just a nice single hoop design, 3 pegging out points, 1 at the front, 2 at the back, just to give it a bit of shape and a bit of tension. And then it is what it is, a very lightweight waterproof bottom and then a completely mesh upper. What is a little bit weird is that it does come with like a bathtub around the very front little semicircle, but then that disappears to just a completely flat non-bathtub side, which is not ideal. But then I would imagine you wouldn't really be using this in the rain. I mean, the frustrating part is you could use it in the rain combined with a tarp, so it would have been better if they'd put a bit more of a side on it. But I think the real beauty of this bivy is that you would just use it as is, because it's completely freestanding. You don't need trekking poles, you don't need any kind of trees or sticks or anything like that to keep it supported. You just need those 3 pegs, so you can get 3 tiny lightweight pegs, and then you're absolutely sorted. So it only weighs 330 grams, so add your 3 pegs and job done. You've got a nice shelter to keep you free and protected from bugs. So as a summer bivy, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Just chuck it in your bag, go and camp fast and light wherever you want to, as long as you're not expecting rain. But if you are expecting rain, you can obviously pick up loads of different tarps to cover this, that will cover it really easily. So I will put all the dimensions on screen, but it is, I would say, quite a generous space for what it is. And what you'll also see is there are 2 straps, and those are to keep your sleep mat in place as well. So a nice little feature there, so you can keep your sleep mat nice and tightly controlled, and then get your sleeping bag on top. If you were combining this with a tarp, you had a bit more structure. It does have a little hanging point as well at this end, so you could hang this end and then have a bit of extra height, the length of the bivy. But it's not, as I said, it's not essential. You can just pitch this completely by itself. Now the pole is nice and easy. It's a very lightweight little plastic pole, and all you do is you look at the instructions on there, which just says pole and points to it. You take this Velcro down and slide the pole through, and then just Velcro at the bottom, and that's what keeps the pole in this end. And obviously the pole is hitting a stopper at the other end to keep it in. So a really, really simple design. You can have this up in seconds. So even if you were just wanting to lie down and read a book somewhere, you could just use this to keep the bugs off you. In terms of internal space, it is what it is. It's a very small, lightweight bivy designed to keep bugs off of you. So you're not going to have a massive amount of room, but the idea is that your head should be where the pole is. I'm about 5'11", it's absolutely fine for me. That leaves you a bit of space up in front there to get your pillow sort of here, and then stash your phone in little bits and pieces. And there's a tiny little mesh pocket here for car keys or something else important you want to keep to one side. Obviously double zip, so it's easy to zip to get in and out and stuff. And the kind of clamshell top just folds back, so you can get in and out quite easily. When it comes to materials, the mesh is 100% polyester, and it's a mesh upper 2Al. And it's 100% nylon plain weave taffeta floor, which is waterproof, and it is seam taped as well. So there are a couple of seams which have been taped. What's interesting is the website said the average weight for this was 454 grams, but when I weighed it, it was 330 grams. And I thought, well, perhaps that can't be right. So I weighed something else which I knew the weight of, and the scales were accurate. So it seems to be much lighter than they said, and I can't see I can't see that it's missing anything. It's got the single pole. Obviously it didn't come with pegs anyway, so you just use your own 3 pegs. So yeah, 330 grams, it's very light, and it's certainly more spacious than some of the sort of mini bivvies that I've got. Well, the bivy packs down small, it's very light at 330 grams, it's completely able to pitch on its own, so you could go out and just pitch this by itself if the weather was good for that. So for summer camping, I can't see you getting much lighter than this, because you don't even need to have trekking poles with you. So if you're somebody who doesn't walk with trekking poles and it's really hot and there's no rain forecast and you just want to pitch nice and simply, then this is absolutely ideal for you, because you don't need to go and mess about trying to find any other way of supporting it. The 3 pegs and the pole is enough to give it a fully sort of structural, complete bivvy. However, if the weather was a bit more unpredictable, you could combine this bug bivvy with a simple tarp like this. This is the Rab Seal Wing tarp. It's designed specifically just to shove bivvy bags or sleeping bags or mesh bivvies underneath it. It only weighs 369 grams, including all of the guy lines and carabiners and stuff. So again, you just need 7 pegs for the tarp and 3 for the bivvy. So 10 pegs, you're looking at about 700 grams for the tarp and the bivvy bag. Obviously, you do need to have at least 1 trekking pole. So it does suit campers who use trekking poles to have the extra option of having a waterproof layer on top of the bivvy. But again, if you're someone who uses trekking poles, that's not a big issue. So this total setup would be less than 800 grams, including the 10 pegs you need to set this up properly. And there we have it. That is the Outdoor Research Bug Bivy. Not a great deal to say about it, really. It is what it is. It's small, it's lightweight, it's freestanding, so it's extremely flexible little bit of kit. And for summer camps and warmer weather, I think it's going to see a lot of use, and it's going to be very, very enjoyable spending a night in it, looking at the stars. If you've got any questions and anything I haven't covered or answered, just drop me a comment and ask, and I'll let you know, because this is a piece of gear I will be keeping, so I can always go in there, get out the bag and have a look for you. Obviously, if you want to see it in action, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be taking us out in the summer. It's pretty cold up here today, so not the ideal sort of weather to be lying in it and stuff. But yeah, I think with a decent sleeping bag, you'd probably get away with this in most weathers, really, as long as it was dry. So yeah, do subscribe to the channel if this is your kind of thing, and if you want to see it in action. Do hit a like if the video has been helpful to you. And yes, check out some other playlists and stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.